you like to speak after?
Hey y'all, it's Ryan, and I'm here with
Patrick.
and we are at the Hex House here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we are about to get the shit scared out of us.
Hopefully.
Literally.
If it's worth the money.
So, it cost us $20 for our tickets, and it's going to scar us for life, hopefully. And hopefully have some good laughs for y'all by the time we are said and done. So anyways, here we go into our adventure, and hopefully you'll hear a lot of profanity by the time we're said and done.
Look out, kids.
Anyways, all right. We'll see y'all later. Bye. Okay. We just went through, which one was it?
The main one.
The
Grimm House.
The Grimm House. West Side Grimm House.
It was scary. Fortunately, everything comes at you from behind, and he was behind me the whole time, so that really...
I got to yell a lot of profanity. But, you know, that was one. So we have one, or the second one. The second one's coming up, so we're headed that way in. So, okay, here we go. All right, y'all. So I went to the Hex House with a good friend of mine tonight, and we pretty much enjoyed the screams. One of the two houses was better than the other. Now, the first one we went in was the West Side Grimm. And it seemed to be a lot scarier than the Hex House. Now, I guess that all just depends on who gets scared easier. Now, the West Side Grimm was great. A friend of mine, Patrick, went with me, and pretty much the entire time he was in front of me and I was behind him, I think I got more of the startles and scares than he did, because I got people in there that was touching me and grabbing my legs, and a lot of grabbing my legs, let me tell you. And I don't like that, especially when you don't know where they come from. They just scared the hell at you. So anyway, I definitely enjoyed the West Side Grimm. There were some things in it that were pretty amazing. Especially there was this one area that Patrick and I both, we thought it was just animatronics. It was this gargoyle, and it lit up and started moving, and the big wings came out, and it growled, and just as we got right in front of it, the motherfucker jumps off the cage and scared the shit out of both of us. I mean, literally scared the shit out of both of us. Patrick ducked and was trying to run, but we couldn't go nowhere. So, I was screaming and he's screaming. I was cussing a lot. I was just trying to get Patrick to go. Go, push him, push him. It was just a big dark black room. We didn't really know where to go. There wasn't much of a place for us to go. And so we got a good kick out of that. And then we started going through the last part of it, which was mostly maze. And it's creepy enough as it is, because there's things coming out of nowhere. But then we got to a point where there was the creepy clown, who was barely 5'9", and he was bigger and around than a beach ball. And it looked like he had a diaper on, and he had neon paint on him, so like around his nipples and stuff, he had neon paint, and he was just creepy, and he had this little itty-bitty piece of hair that was, you know, braided on top, so he kind of looked like a fat, chunky baby. It was just kind of gross and scary. What bothered me the most with this guy was he followed us through a portion of this maze. And he was like touching the back of my head and my hair and rubbing on me. And then he was sticking his finger in my ear. And then he was like touching down my shoulders and my back. And I freaked out enough as this because I just really don't like clowns so much because of Stephen King's It. That just scared me for life. And I'm scarred for life because I just don't like clowns because not everybody floats down here. But anyway, this guy was following us through this whole portion of this maze, and we got to a point where we caught up with the group in front of us. Well, let me just tell you, it was just Patrick and I. Just me and him going through this. So we caught up with the group in front of us. There was like 5 or 6 other people, so we just stayed with them. And then the creepy clown grabbed my butt. Or let me rephrase that, grabbed my ass. It would have been fine if he would have been hot and sexy or something like that. But you know what? He was not. He was a short little dumpling. And it was creepy. I didn't like that so much. I was ready to get out of there after that point. So, anyways, for the West Side Grim, it was great. Its scares and startles were so much better than the Hex House. But let me just tell you, my review from, as I do movies, I do on the rating scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. I'm going to give the West Side Grim an 8.5. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. My next review will be on the Hex House. See y'all in a minute. Bye. Okay, so my review on the Hex House. Now, the Hex House is the title of this haunted attraction. And so, I figured it was going to be the scarier of the two. Now, I didn't feel like it was scarier than the other. It had some startles and scares in it that were pretty good, but it just didn't seem to scare me as much as the first one for the West Side Grim. Now, the sets were immaculate and they were great. The effects and things, they were great. There were people coming out of places I didn't even know they were in. They were coming down out of the floor, grabbing at your legs, making you jump, and I would jump and I'd scream and I'd say shit. I said shit a lot. I think at one point in time I said, I want to get the fuck out of here during one of them, but anyway, you can't back out. You just have to keep going. And so, this group that Patrick and I got put into was with a husband and wife and their little girl. Now, this little girl was, let me tell you, she was doing good. She did real good. The mom and dad, on the other hand, they were about as creeped out as the rest of us. But I think she was kind of blocked from a lot of it because she couldn't see. I mean, she was little. She's itty bitty little girl. But she did good. I don't remember hearing her scream, but I remember Dad screaming something because something popped. And we thought it was a firework, but it was, I don't know what it was. Anyways, it popped, and it popped right by his leg, and then it popped again right by my leg. I swear to God, if it wasn't a firework, it was something close to it, because it popped my leg, and I jumped, because I felt it. So if they cattle prodded me, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to get you. That's right, I'm going to get you. Anyway, that was one of my other voices in my head saying they're going to come get you. I mean, I'll lock that away. Locking it away. Okay. So, back to the review on this. The sets were immaculate. There were people hanging in the air above you. You didn't even know they were there because they had all the decorations and creepy stuff hanging down, and they just blended right in with it. You didn't know they were there until they were grabbing the back of your head or the top of your head. I had this one girl, she grabbed my hair like this. I had no idea who it was. Scared me to death. Then somebody grabbed my leg. And then I jumped and threw Patrick in the wall. And we were just trying to get through. And then stepping on weird mattress-like things or whatever. A lot of uneven grounds and stuff in there. Whew. But then we get into this one room. And this guy is hanging on the wall. Running sideways on the wall. Chasing you from one side of the room to the next. Then there's the butcher room, which was cool, because in inside they had these little pantry door or whatever, and these pantry doors are just banging and they're flopping open and closed, and that was a good effect. All the pots and pans were shaking and banging, and then you had the crazy people that were all bloody and stuff, and they were all right up in your face like this, going, I want you, you look pretty, you look pretty, I'm gonna eat you. Well, let me tell you, if you would have been prettier, maybe I'd have let you eat me, but you weren't. You were gross. So anyway, then we go through this other little maze part in the Hex house, and that's when the people just started, I mean, they were around every corner. You couldn't see where you were going anyways because you had stuff flopping in your face, and, you know, you're just trying to see, and you got strobe lights just going off everywhere. So it's crazy. But right there at the end, we finally were like, oh, okay, we're at the end. Just as you step outside the door, just know there's something gonna scare you. And it was this big animatronic alligator. Now, I didn't see it right off the bat. And I was on the far side of the little gated area where I was trying to walk out because I was so dizzy at one point that out of nowhere, this big alligator just right in your face. And I was like, holy shit! Of course, I made everybody laugh out there, but, you know, after it was all said and done, Patrick and I both, we agreed it was fun. It wasn't the scariest of haunted houses, because look, I'm looking for the scariest stuff. I want stuff to make me scream shit from the time I walk in all the way through to the very end. I'm finishing that line of shit all the way through. So, just be prepared when you go to the Hex House and the West Side Grim. One is better, I say is better than the other. Now, my rating for the Hex House, 1 through 10, 10 being the highest, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm really going to give it a 7. I should give it less because it was not as scary as you would have imagined it to be. It would have been better if they would have maybe toned down some things a little bit and put the scares a little further apart. But I mean, it was just one scare after another, and most of the scares weren't there because you were already scared from the person before. So when the person next was scaring you, you were already like, oh, what? Oh, there was somebody there. So anyway, that's my review on the Hex House. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a fun adrenaline rush. But if you do go through it, make sure that, especially your children, if you take them, make sure that they're at the point of being able to go through it without being scared. I know my daughter is not, she's 14, and she's still in that stage where she's just slowly getting into being okay with things scaring her and not keeping her up all night. But if you want to go and have a good time with your friends, go and have a good time with your friends. It's fun. It's fantastic. There's 2 haunted houses under one roof, and it's $20 for both of them. So it's just a grand total of $20, $10 for each haunted house. It's a great fun, and I definitely recommend it if you want to have some fun adrenaline scares, just to go. So anyway, that's my review, and I wish some of the audio would have recorded, but for some reason it just didn't show back up. So I apologize for not having any of the audio in the haunted house. I would love to have had it, but you're not allowed to record anything in there, and I kind of did. And apparently it didn't save on my phone. So anyway, till next time, I will see you at the next event or review. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!